본박사 지구촌 TV 시청자 여러분 안녕하십니까? 우리나라에서는 사교육이 일반적으로 가정에 경제적으로 부담이 되고 사회의 문제로도 되고 있습니다. 외국의 상황은 어떤지, 외국에서는 언제 부모로부터 독립하는지 서양인들을 위주로 알아보겠습니다.
Hi, I'm Hallie. I'm from the US.
Доброго дня, мене звати Ліза, я з України, з міста Києва.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Dimitri et je suis français.
Привет, меня зовут Марина, я из России.
Hi, I'm Rob and I'm from South Africa.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Aurore et je viens de Belgique.
Hallo, mein Name ist Andreas und ich komme aus Deutschland.
Доброго дня, мене звати Олена, я приїхала з України.
Salam, benim adım Alım, ben Türkmenistan'dan.
Bonjour, je m'appelle Atalane et je viens de France.
Здравствуйте, меня зовут Петр, я из России.
In the US, we don't really have, I wouldn't call them private academies. It's more like we do extracurricular activities with the school. So usually those things are free. And I guess if you have a lot of money, then you can take some private lessons, but I never did.
In South Africa, we don't have as many hagwons as in Korea, and most of the hagwons are for students that have fallen behind. So most students would be like a bit shy to say that they're going to a hagwon. And actually, it was really surprising for me when I first arrived in Korea that there's a hagwon for anything. You even get a hagwon for jump rope, and I thought that was pretty funny.
Parents never push us for a study. You only have to graduate the school, and if you want to go to university, then yes.
I think it's enough. We have many hours at schools, so they don't like to push their kids too much.
Like few parents, when you're in private school, then parents are more like used to push a little bit, but usually not. They are more like, oh, you do your homework and once it's done, then you do what you want.
So in Belgium, we actually don't have any hagwon. Instead, we have private tutoring or after-school care, but we usually don't do this kind of thing.
Actually, in France, private academy the hagwon is not as popular as in Korea. In Korea, there are many. That's part of the education culture. But in France, it's more like parents will hire like a private tutor for their kids to study more after school, for example.
Private tutor, yeah, we only have private tutors. We don't have hagwons like in Korea. When I was like a teenager, we basically don't go to any hagwons or like taking extra classes. But nowadays, the parents sending their kids like to go like language courses like English extra.
I think that when you do a lot of stuff, it's not making you smart. I think if you do a lot of, you spread your energy to a lot of stuff and you're not professional in anything. So if you do something that you like, you will do it like a hobby. So later it will become a profession and you will do really, really good job in it. But I don't think that you have to do different like mathematics and languages and dancing and singing at once. So it takes your time, energy, and you will be not happy with that.
Actually, in Germany, we have a lot of kind of helping school after school. Usually, if you're not good in mathematics, if you're not good in any kind of science, you're going there and they're kind of like helping you. So it's more like a kind of extra to the school. It has a little bit like a slightly negative touch. It always really feels like, oh, our child is a little bit dumb or stupid. So usually you only do it when the marks are really bad. Instead of this, usually the kids in Germany, they're doing other kind of courses if they want. For example, we have taekwondo. Of course, most boys, they're visiting football clubs in their free time because they're all, like enjoying it. They all want to be a football star one day. So that is it. Being independent in Germany, I think it depends on every individual child. It also depends a little bit like on the parents, how much they trust their children or not.
Most people, they are independent by the time they're 18 to 20. And if your parents are paying for school, then sometimes they have a little more influence on you. But usually you're independent before you go to college.
I started to work at 15 years old, and then I started to travel, and basically I work as a model as well. So usually in Ukraine you're moving out of your apartment. Okay, for women it's normal when you're getting married, you're moving out, but for the guys, the parents usually pushing you like 18.
Usually 18. So after 18 you can do whatever you want.
Usually we leave home at 18, but you also can stay with your parents. Like young people prefer to do their life alone and do their decisions alone. So I think like most of people, they just leave in early.
Usually getting independent at 18 when they go to university, and they completely get independent after university, so 23, 25.
Parents are kind of open with that, so if you want to live alone, then you tell to your parents, oh, it's time to leave, so can I enjoy life alone? So yeah, you can do that, or some people stay a long time, but if after, I would say after 27, if you're still in your parents' home, it's kind of late, it's kind of not weird, but people will say like, oh, why you don't live alone, you don't want to be independent.
In my culture, the men, they really get mature really early. Like we get married early, so everything is get early. So after like 10, 12, the boy doesn't count as a boy already. So he already the father start teaching him like the manly things, like do the heavy things in the house, go help to neighbors or wherever, like the heavy manly job. So mostly independence from the family, you can count it up like 16.
About 18 to 19 years old. So when you are ready to enter the university, to be attended to a university, our parents says like we are ready to live out, to live away from them. You need to study how to live alone, teach how to live alone. But the life of student in Russia is really tough and really hard, because you have to take money from nowhere, you have to work, part-time job, and the parents usually push out their children. Yeah.